All right, guys, welcome back to part 2 of building up your property for deer management. This one's going to be for the food plots, and the only question that I had for you guys that I didn't ask, which I'm sorry is not in the video, so I'm going to ask it now. Did you guys soil sample anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did. And our pH level comes in right around that 6.5 range.
All right.
And you want to be 7's perfect.
Okay.
6.5 is good enough.
Is there? So you guys didn't do anything to treat the soil? You guys just
we threw
planted
down
it as is?
This last year we threw down some lime. Lime
Okay.
will help bring your pH level up.
All right.
So we do lime it, and then other than that, yeah, our soil's pretty good for food plots.
Cool. Well, one of the things that helped these guys out, which they were talking about, which I'm pretty sure is going to be in the video here, but just in case it's not, they left their food plots down to a size to where each edge is within bow range, because you guys are strictly archery hunters.
Yep.
And something that really helped them out as well is that when during the growing season, there's actually a lot of sunlight coming in early season, and then post, I don't know, November and December, those deer are still being interested because of different variety of what they have planted. So keep that in mind if you want to keep deer on your property. Don't just think about during the rut, don't think about October, think about year-round stuff. And this is something that we covered here in the video, so enjoy, and then we'll catch you back here at the end.
This is the first one we ever put in.
What was the first that you planted here?
Oh, first thing, I don't know. I don't even remember.
Probably something simple.
Yeah, because I didn't have all the stumps out of here yet.
Yeah, there's
nothing.
a couple stumps up here still.
So what's planted here now?
This is clover, alfalfa, and winter peas, right?
Clover, alfalfa, chicory, and winter peas, or spring peas.
You got a oak sitting right in the heart of it.
Yeah, we left that guy alone. That was one I didn't take out. Still need, again, I'd like to take a little bit more out on the edges here. It's just getting to it.
So
what I do with the wood.
What time of year is this going to be most beneficial for the deer to get into?
Fall.
Fall.
Right now, they're not even monkeying with it. It'll be
for the salt.
Yeah, they're coming in for the salt and the minerals, and then they eat a little bit right now, but there's so much to eat everywhere, so they're not too interested in it. But like mid-September, it's just like,
yeah,
you flick a switch and they love these.
We'll actually get pictures of deer just bedded down in here.
Yeah,
really.
They just eat as far as their head will reach.
I know when we first started these food plots, it was all about hunting over them. That's all we cared about.
Now
and
it's
then,
just fun to watch the deer be deer.
Well, I mean,
help
my
them out.
attitude on them has changed over the years too. Now it's more about food here all year long. There's always a food source for them.
That's why I like the idea of doing the winter plot up front.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's pretty cool to come back here in the winter when we got 6-8 inches of snow, and you can see how they've been digging up and pawing up to get to it. And it's like, yeah, there you go. That's what this is about now.
Yeah.
I've told him, I tell a lot of people, I have as much fun pissing around with these food plots as I do hunting deer now.
Yeah.
I get a big bang out of doing this stuff. Planting all these crab apples and all that stuff. I have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Is that what these are here along the side?
Yeah, these are
crab apples.
Yep. And they're not getting enough light. That's kind of why they're scraggly looking. You know, again, like I said, I need to take more of these trees out, but I hate to just cut them down and leave them lay. And I don't have the room right now for firewood, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, we put this in about 5 weeks ago, and it's doing really well.
You got what, probably 6-8 inches in some spots, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, the peas are really tall.
Yeah.
They're really taking off. Got the clovers real nice and thick. Yeah, see, that's the chicory right there. This is the clover. There is alfalfa in here too. And usually these peas, man, they just strip them right out. They love those things.
But like you said too, there's so much for them to eat right now.
Yeah.
They're not worried about
and
this.
The longer these stay, these will turn into like a vine and just start
Yeah.
creeping across, which is good too.
I think at this point that these have been here for every deer. I don't think there's not a deer alive.
2014 is when we put this in the
Yeah,
first time.
there's not a deer that's still walking through the woods that hasn't seen this in this area probably.
So what you're saying with that is there's not a deer that's not going to not trust it because it doesn't seem natural.
Unless they're getting pushed out of a different area, like
Yeah.
just the natural herd of deer in this area, they're not gonna. They don't think twice.
So-
we've had some very old. All the bucks we had in here last, some old bucks in here.
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
I think
this is one of the stands. Like I said, you can see the neighbor's place. It's wide open.
Yeah.
And how many times we've been there, and you watch them come out of those woods on the other side of that big swamp. Just right across this field and right in.
I've had a lot of them. You can see them kind of walk down the other wood line,
Yeah.
and then they're almost sprint across. Not sprint, but get
Quick
across
walk.
that field
Yeah.
quick. And then as soon as they hit the fence over here, you can
Calm
see their
down.
whole body language just
Yep.
change back to calm again.
Yep.
But like I was saying about the deer knowing this is here, I think they also know too, like, oh yeah, we don't need to mess with that. We'll save that for later in the year.
Yeah,
We know that's going to be there. That's not going anywhere.
that makes plenty of sense.
Yep.
It is weird if he doesn't brush hog his property. Because some years he'll brush hog the whole thing, just down to nothing. And we'll still see, a good amount of deer. But if he leaves it go, we see so many more deer over on this side.
Amazing. Yeah.
They've been dead because they bed it, and over there you'll be sitting here, and all of a sudden those just stand up out of nowhere.
But yeah, like I said, food plots, experiment, try different stuff. Like I said, we've tried the turnips, we've tried beets, we've tried radishes. But
Nebraska.
do it sparingly.
Yeah, don't do a
Yeah,
whole
don't do a
plot of
whole
it.
plot of just turnips, because if they don't like them, they won't come. Lightly mix stuff in.
Yeah, anymore it's primarily clover and alfalfa, and then we always kind of throw
Or
a
grass.
third thing in.
Yeah. Because I had this mix in 5-6 years ago, and they loved this. The chicory they left alone till dead of winter. They never touched it till the winter time, which is fine. Hey, that's good too.
Yeah. Now, is this plot here something that you had to till for?
This was all woods.
No, I mean, once it was cleared out, you'd till and then plant that way, or it's just like a throw and grow?
No, this was, I used to rototill it. Well, first I came in here with a stump grinder because it was stumps. I just ground the entire thing, stumps, dirt, everything. And then we used to rototill it. And then I started learning about heirloom seeds, which are seeds that can be in the soil for up to a century. And once the soil is disturbed, here comes all this stuff that you don't want.
Okay.
So, actually I have one of those little homeowner air fryers you pull behind your riding mower. And that's how I do them now. I just
Really?
go over it with that, and it pokes the holes, pulls the core out. We seed it, back drag it, done. And that's exactly how we did this.
Oh, rototilling, it took hours.
Hours to till this up. Yeah,
You had 2 or 3 hours.
yeah,
of
because
just
I don't have a
rototilling.
big rototiller, so, but
Now we can have them in an hour.
hour and a half.
Yeah. I think that's how long this one took to plant, about an hour and a half.
This is what, 50 yards by 20 yards?
40 by 20.
40?
Yep. So when they step inside of here, they are in bow range for
Yeah.
us.
Perfect.
Yep.
And do you find this specific pattern, this shape, to allow the deer to move a certain direction?
No, actually, it was a contour of the land and as few trees as I could take out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's
it
kinda
kind of
worked.
worked out to your stand. It's almost kidney shaped, and your stand's kind of in the center of it, so it's all just right in front of you in an arc.
Yeah. No, that's smart.
It does seem though the deer favor the bottom end over the top.
Yeah, they do.
I've shot more deer out of here down there than I ever have up here.
Yeah, when deer come in here, I mean, I've had them come in through these woods, I've had them come in the road, and they'll instantly gravitate to the bottom. They don't waste any time. They get down there quickly, and then they'll stick around. So,
Well, that makes sense. I mean, closer to edge cover, and then
Yeah.
you're a little bit further down a lip from exposure.
yep.
I also just think because the way it always seems like the bottom grows in better than the top, and I think that's because it's on a downhill
Water.
slope and the water's flowing.
Water flowing.
It's going down that way.
Nutrient wrench down at the bottom. Yeah.
We always have a problem with getting this outside edge to grow in good.
Well,
up
it's
here.
shady.
Yeah.
There's so much shade on the outer edges. And again, like I said, I'd like to take more out, but I don't want to take too many. I don't want to make it too open.
Yeah.
And so if the edges are a little scraggly, so what?
Well, even back here, you used to be able to see
Yeah.
clear across into the neighbors, down into the swamp.
Yeah, yeah,
But you took quite a few out up here too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
And if you have found something that works, it's hard to mess with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Clover's a slam dunk. They love clover. You can't go wrong with clover. Alfalfa, they love it too. But it's also good to throw in some other stuff, like I said, the chicory and the peas. I know they like the peas. And that was, so this blend that I bought was clover, alfalfa, chicory. And I actually got the peas and we put that along with it. And so yeah, like I said, once they're into this, they'll tear this up.
How many food plots are on it?
Just two. Yeah, just
Both
two.
of them are 20 yards deep, 40 yards wide, roughly. Just kind of, the one's literally shaped like a kidney bean.
Is it both the same plant or no?
No, the one that back this year, we're kind of fighting chickweed. We think we got it pretty well tamed. So this year it's just going to be different grasses, different blends of grasses. But the one in the front is clover, alfalfa, a little bit of chicory, and then we spiked it with spring peas.
You guys have a cool setup here.
Oh, hell, we're only halfway through,
Only
man.
half of it.
Well, it's a smart setup to where it gives you guys plenty of access to come in here and do a nice hunt side of here, but it kind of keeps you in the game year round. Like you were saying earlier, how you enjoyed this just as much, if not more, than hunting at this point. Like that makes sense because you're tending something that used to be just a hobby, but now it's a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost sad when bow season starts. I'm like, fuck,
No,
man, I can't go
you're
back here and
not,
push around
dude.
food.
Don't lie
Now I
like
can't
that.
go back here and play with those anymore. So,
Yeah, like I said, when we talked about it, we learned that, like, for the longest time, we were over hunting.
yeah.
You know, too. We were hunting. There was someone in here at least 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, when I first bought this place, it was the reason I bought it
Yeah.
was to hunt. And I had it in my mind I had to be out here every waking moment that I could be. And I got to a point that I hated hunting. I dreaded it.
we
I
hunted,
hated
you know, all through the October lull, and by the time the hunting got good, we were so burnt
We
out.
were burnt out.
The rut would be here. Like, I don't even want to go.
Yeah.
Like, I just did 10 sets and didn't see nothing.
I remember-
Why do I want to go today?
I remember one year I hunted 18 nights in a row.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a chore. It wasn't fun anymore. I didn't like it.
And the
About
past couple
3 years ago, we were just like, you know what?
hey, it's hot. I'm not going. Hey, we've been in there when we hunted hard the weekend. Let's lay out of there till like Wednesday or Thursday
Yeah.
type deal.
Yeah, most of the times now we just hunt the weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then we stay out all week.
I mean, I keep track. I have a list on my phone of all the dates I've hunted, how many deer I saw and everything. And I remember, like, man, if you saw 10 deer in a year, you're like, that's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
I saw I think I had like 42 or 43 different deer. Like, a lot of them were bucks. I think I seen 16 or 17 different bucks last year.
Last year was weird because we would have bucks in here for about a week, and then it was like then it was a whole new group come in.
Really?
And then it was a whole new group after that, and it was you rarely saw the same bucks twice.
Which you can probably attribute that to less hunting pressure on your guys' end and a better environment where they feel safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause we had bucks that were in here all summer that we never saw, and then we had bucks in here during the fall that we.
That one year we had all them goofy bucks with the weird horns hanging down.
Yeah, we
for
had-
like 2 weeks, and then we never saw them again.
Yeah, we had 3 bucks running around. One was he had a really nice 4-point side. The other one was just a fork. The other one, well, he was I think a big 3-point side with a fork. Then there was one I don't even know what he had off this side, but this side just came down and wrapped around the bottom of his head.
Yeah.
This
There was
big
some weird
old
ones.
piece of dried velvet. He walked in right there. I was hunting. I thought his ear was broke. I saw that dried velvet. I was like, oh, he's got a busted ear. By
Yeah.
the time he walked out, I was like, oh, crap, no, that's his antler. The hell happened to you, dude?
Right?
Yeah, I had to sit in there one night. I had the one come in, and I had left a low limb on that oak for just a little bit more cover, and he just stopped perfect behind that limb. And I'm like, come on. He didn't take one step. He just took off, and I'm like, God damn. So the next day, I'm out there cutting that freaking limb off.
I remember that because I told you, I was like, man, that one limb covers a lot of that bottom. You're like, yeah, leave it for cover. And then that happened. He's like, we're cutting that limb down. We got to put that limb out of here.
Yeah, because I'd have had that one, but oh well. But yeah, like I said, I've learned not to hunt as much, and I hunted a total of 6 sets last year. That was all I hunted.
Really?
Less
I
is
got
more.
2 deer. I was happy with 2. I'm done.
Like, I don't take, like, we used to take, big stretches of time off of work to hunt.
Not anymore.
Now, I'll take a few Fridays, hunt a long weekend, and if I hunt the long weekend, I don't hunt until the next weekend.
Yeah.
Stay out of here.
I know that that's in my future this year, and probably for a long time from now on. I got a change in position at work to where I have more things I have to do, and I'm more responsible for more things. And I'm like, I can't take 2-3 weeks off multiple times a month like I used to. I just can't.
Plus, you do it that way, you burn all your vacation up for, if you have a week, you take a week.
Yep.
That's all you get.
Yep.
So I took 4 Fridays this bow season. That's all I'm taking off.
Yeah.
I'm going to hunt when I can. Early season, you can hunt because the sun's obviously setting later. But you won't. Once that second, third week October rolls around, I work till 3:30, 4:30 in the afternoon. I can't hunt. So okay, that's when I'll start taking the Fridays. So I have the long weekend to hunt.
Yep.
And then I'll just lay out the rest of the week. And even then, it's warm, and we're having a spike in temperature. It's going to be 70 degrees the end of October.
Stay out.
Probably not going to go.
Yeah. So hunt smarter, not harder.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to move, but they're going to wait till dark. There's no point in being out here then.
Yeah.
Just hang out.
Because I hunted clean up into November when I hit that buck last year. I think I only made 16 sets total.
Really?
Yeah,
And
you hunted a lot more than I did.
And I 16. He's like 16 sets. He's like, you hunted a lot more than I did.
You did.
But I seen almost 40. I seen over 40 deer in 16 sets. I was averaging over 3 deer a set.
That's perfect.
And then, granted, a lot of those deer were probably the same. Like the groups of does coming in were probably the same.
Well, see, even that's just as rewarding, knowing that the deer are being held in the area and you're not bumping them. They trust the landscape. Like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, see, like last year with these food plots, my goal was I want to keep as many does in here through the summer as I can with their little ones. 'Cause if I can keep them in here spring, summer, they're going to be here all fall.
Yeah.
If they're here in the fall, we'll have the bucks.
That's what
The
I get a
bucks will
kick
come.
out of. I like watching the little ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when they're in here, because they just have.
Oh, they have a blast.
They have a ball in these things.
Oh, I bet.
They're running around playing.
Kicking, jumping. Yeah.
You can tell mom's just wore out. Just standing up at the top.
Yeah.
They're just running around the bottom. Come on, eat.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
A lot of times too, early fall, like I said, they'll go stretches they're not interested in these. And the reason I grow a lot of apple trees is we'll come back here with a bag of apples, 4 or 5 bucketfuls, and just throw them through these food plots, and it just, bang, it turns them on. As soon as they smell those apples, they love this. And then they're really into grazing and eating. That's so cool to get pictures of a deer standing there with stuff hanging out of their mouth.
Well, how many series of pictures we'll get? Well, their head will always be down, but they're just slowly moving
Moving along.
Yeah,
through
slowly
the food
moving.
plot. Every picture, they're different.
I remember a couple of years ago too, I had the camera down there at the bottom looking at the salt and the lucky buck. We had 3 bucks in here, and I had them in here for like an hour, and they just kept rotating from salt to lucky buck to food, and that was really cool to see. It's like, they like everything that's here.
As
So
far
that's
as the
good.
minerals go, we found out the summertime they love them, and then like right around September they don't touch them no more.
Yeah.
We've noticed that we haven't used salts or minerals for a long time, but we would get them in the summer and then not touch them.
Yep.
What it is, deer get all their minerals from what they eat. They love that lucky buck till about mid-June, and then after that they don't touch it, and they don't need it anymore. They're getting everything they need from what they eat.
Yeah.
So I learned the best time to have minerals out is winter and early spring, because that's when they're deficient, and that's when they want them.
That's also when they're growing as well.
Yeah.
It's growing season for bucks.
But it's been a long winter. They're deficient on minerals. That's when they're seeking them out. So you see the companies that sell this shit, they sell it all during hunting season. They don't want it then.
Yeah.
They're not going to use it.
Yeah.
They're not interested. It may smell good, but they're not going to do anything with it.
The funny thing is, I've seen almost everything eat those minerals. I've seen squirrels sit up there and eat that
Squirrels,
stuff.
rabbits,
Birds,
possums, birds,
Yeah.
everything.
everything goes up there and eats that stuff.
Yep. I like that lucky buck because it's loaded with calcium.
Is it?
It's got a lot of calcium, so the bucks like it for antler development. And the longer we had it out there, then the more the does were going for it. And it was like, well, that makes sense. They're nursing. They need calcium. They found it.
That is so obvious, but I never thought of that.
I never did either until we started seeing it. And it was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Wow.
So it's just the stuff we've learned from, like I said, trial and error.
Yeah.
Making mistakes. Oh, well, don't do that again.
I mean, we learn more here in not even the whole time we've been here, probably 5 years.
Yeah.
Then we learned, hunting at the gravel pits and
Yeah.
doing all that stuff.
He likes to hunt the back food plot more. I like to hunt the front one. And he's like, I don't know how many deer I've seen just come straight down that road the long ways, just come right down into there.
Yeah.
And that was the goal, to make it a destination somewhat.
Just grass and clover.
Yep. I did put some wheat in it last fall. You can still see some of that came back.
This one looks a little bit bigger.
It's the same.
We made it bigger a few years back.
Yeah, it was really small.
Okay.
It was like
Double the size of it.
maybe 15 yards wide
Yeah.
and like just the full length back. And
Yeah.
just kind of doubled
But,
it out that way.
I got deer back here every year for years.
Yes, he always favored this one, and I always favored the front one.
Yeah. But like I said, this is just grass and clover. Really, it's that way because I have a bad problem with chickweed, and this is the only thing that'll choke that stuff out.
Okay.
Is the grass. I've about got it wiped out. So next year, this will probably just be straight clover, nothing else. I think that's what we're thinking of doing with it. But,
Which isn't bad. I mean, they're going to eat it.
Yeah, but they're very comfortable in here.
Especially since this used to be wide open.
I was just gonna say, this has a real thick edge cover to it.
Yeah.
Well, you did a little bit of hinge cutting a few years back, and that
Yeah.
kind of
That helped.
worked for a short period of time, but that did help promote more growth coming out.
Yeah. And I'm big on leaving little stumps here and there to put different minerals on.
I see that.
They'll actually lick that stump.
Yeah,
That stump
we'll
is
go there,
smooth.
go there and look at how smooth that stump is from them just licking it. Yeah, I just weed eated this yesterday a little bit. Just took a little bit off the tops of the grass. But I want to leave the clover flowers so they seed.
You got some flowers in here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they look healthy. Are you throwing any fertilizer on any
Yeah.
of your plots?
Well, the thing I found out about clover does not pull nitrogen out of the soil, it pulls it out of the air.
Okay.
So when you add nitrogen to the soil, you're not helping your clover. Clover wants phosphorus and potassium for root growth, but it doesn't want, so when you throw heavy nitrogen down, you're making everything else grow but the clover.
Gotcha.
So I just use it like a 12. So it's got low numbers, low nitrogen, but it's got really high phosphorus and potassium, which is great for root development. But yeah, feel how smooth that is. You can see here how they chew at it. But
No-
that's
no
so
kidding.
smooth.
We've been putting it on stumps forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned a trick too. I don't know where I read about, drill holes in your stump
We
in the
tried
top,
that.
or this one we just hollowed out a little bit with a chainsaw. And just so that stump will absorb
Yeah.
all the stuff.
And it's funny, but when it rains, the next day that'll be a completely different color
Yeah.
because all the stuff gets pulled back in.
Yeah.
Right now it's pulling for moisture, so it's changing color.
But yeah, this has been a really, really good spot back here over the years. Even before we had a food plot in here, it was a good,
That
This
killed
was a
that one
good
out of that
place.
tree, I think, wasn't it?
yeah, out of that old nasty tulip.
That was
Yeah.
the first. That was the first deer we killed back here.
I keep wanting to take that down, but I can't.
Yeah.
Got memories to it.
That was that buck that screamed at us.
Oh God. That was amazing.
You blame me. I shot that buck. I spined him. He was like 10 yards. I got down and shot him again, and he did a buck roar. And he's just hunting up, maybe 100 yards up the road. I didn't have my cell phone, so I just walk up there. He's like, "What was that? What was that noise?"
Well, I hear this. Roar. All I can think is, God, he does the weirdest deer call. Jesus Christ.
That was him. That was him. That was
That's
a
all I
deer.
can think of. What the hell was that?
That scared the hell out of me.
Oh, I bet.
When I got down to shoot him again, I was, from here to the stump. He was just sitting there, and I shot him again. That's when he did it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Like, all right, we gotta go.
Especially
He
being
come
that
and got
close.
me, and we walked back, and I said, "You better just bring your bow, just in case."
Remember, he goes, "Where is he?" And I was like, "He's right there." And as soon as I pointed, man, he just boom, stuck that head back up. I was like, "Oh,
Put
man,
another one. Put another one in.
that was a tough deer."
We did have a picture of him with 3 arrows sticking.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a friggin' pincushion. I felt bad.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, this one we'll redo next year. This will be a total redo.
Well, we've been fighting that chickweed back here for how many years now?
I'm not going to claim 100% victory on it, but we're pretty close.
Yeah.
And it's just tough to get out of here. Wow.
Like you said, if you disturb the soil, it's just going to come back.
Yeah, it keeps coming back.
You can never till back here.
Why not?
Because it'll disturb that chickweed seed.
It flips those seeds back
cause
up.
it to grow again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But the aerifying, I think you can get away with.
yeah, it's not as aggressive.
Yeah.
And the nice thing with the clover, you can actually frost seed that too. You can come back here late winter, early spring, broadcast that. It's just a freeze and thaw. The soil pulls that seed in and does it for you.
Perfect.
So.
All right, so that's a wrap for these part 1, part 2 videos. Kyle, thank you so much. And I know I said thank you to your dad, but tell him I said thank you again. It was so neat seeing something that you guys had created to create that kind of environment for a deer, and also something that you guys get to do throughout the year for these deer. I don't know if I showed this in the video, so I just want to cover real quick that back food plot that has a creek behind it. I'm not going to show you guys a map just out of respect for their property and stuff like that. So that creek in the back is about 20 yards wide. That does act as a good bumper for deer, and we were just talking about it off camera. Sounds like during the rut that could make some difference, especially with the growth that they have in there now that they're going to see more buck activity traveling up and down that scent checking doe bedding areas. I don't know, Kyle, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. We'll have you back out later in the summer. You can see the food plots and everything again.
All right, I can't wait to be there.
Track the progress.
Yeah, I'm seeing that was like a hidden gem, especially for the part of Northeast Ohio that we're in. Something like that just doesn't typically exist, and it's really cool seeing guys get involved with not only that kind of management for whitetail, but you guys are really particular about what you harvest out of there. It's not just, oh, we're gonna bring deer in and shoot whatever we can. You guys are being very careful about not only age class, but you're keeping certain doe groups in the area, knowing that these are the smart ones, these are the less smart ones.
Right.
You guys are very particular about that stuff. So that's the kind of stuff that we love to hear about. We've done that with some of our permission properties over the past couple of years, but we don't have that same opportunity to do the growth, and we don't have the food plots and stuff like that. So what you guys have done is absolutely great, and thank you for sharing that.
No, not a problem. And the thing is, like, too, it's 9 acres, so you don't really expect a whole lot. Like, we're doing what we can with 9 acres, but I feel like it's coming along pretty nicely.
So keep that in mind as well. Just because you guys have a couple acres at home doesn't mean you can't do something for the deer, because it does make a difference.
Yep.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.